Hello, I'm your host Rohan Lawrence, and welcome back to another Star vs. the Forces of Evil vlog. I pretty much just got back from work. I work as an usher, and the show ran later than expected, multiple encores and stuff like that, so I wasn't able to get this up as quickly as I wanted to, but I was like, you know what, I'm determined to get this done before I go to sleep. So here is the next episode of Season 3. The first part was called Club Snubbed, and the second was called Stranger Danger. Both very, very interesting episodes in their own way. I'm definitely going to say these episodes were better than the ones yesterday. So let's get started. So the first part was Club Snubbed. So it starts off with I'm forgetting the name of the ball. I just saw it, and already I'm forgetting. So basically it's a traditional ball where the different parts of the kingdom come together. It's something that they do traditionally and stuff like that. And it starts off with Ponyhead and Star talking. Star talks about how she wants to be a better princess, and it looks like she is actually quite serious about this. She realizes that, you know, after considering everything that's happened with Toffee and stuff, she's making an effort to, you know, be a little bit more orderly, which is something you don't really see with Star. So, like, this will be interesting to see. And at this ball, it turns out this is the place where Star and Tom met, and what kind of sparked up them dating. So it's interesting. So all the princes and the princesses are there of the different kind of, I'm going to say factions for lack of a better word, different kingdoms. And there's actually a bit of hostility a little bit. Some other kingdoms are kind of disappointed with the Butterfly family for letting the whole Toffee invasion happen, which is interesting. I hope to see more of that because it was kind of reinforced a little bit. So I was like, ooh, tension amongst the kingdoms. This will be interesting. So I'm hoping that they go a little bit into that. And like I said, all the princes and princesses are there from different kingdoms, and Tom is the only one to show up, you know, fashionably late. Star notices this and says, great, he's always like this. And Ponyhead kind of is trying to stir the pot a little bit, but Star's like, nope, no need for that at all. I'm going to be mature and responsible and just ignore him. So Tom shows up, and typically how this whole ball thing works is that the princes ask the princesses to dance and vice versa. And usually Tom would ask Star to dance immediately. But this time he doesn't. He goes around and asks every other princess before Star. And Star is like, wait, what is happening? Ponyhead says that she's being snubbed, which I looked at the definition and it's to be cold and distant. So I was like, Tom acting that way towards Star? See, now I was wondering if this was like a ploy from him. Initially I thought this was like one of his plans to get Star's attention, because Ponyhead says that the best way to get someone's attention is to pretty much ignore them. And Star, of course, doesn't like that and tries to snub him back. But it looks like Tom is genuinely, you know, ignoring her. This kind of irritates her more and more. And, you know, they're down to the last two people who haven't danced with each other yet, and the ball cannot end unless every princess dances with every princess and vice versa. And so, you know, it keeps going on and on and on. Meanwhile, while this whole thing is happening, there's, like, I forgot his name. There's someone who's, like, announcing this, and, like, he's telling the history of, he goes and tells the history of Star and Tom. And I'm just like, why is this guy announcing this? Like, does this need to be said? It was just a nice little funny bit that they were doing. And then, like, Star was so, you know, confused at this point that she even asked the announcer guy to dance with him before Tom. And, you know, Tom watches this and looks sad and then decides to leave. And then Star just says, okay, that's it, enough's enough. So she goes out and confronts him. She's like, okay, what is your deal? Why are you making sad eyes at me when you're the one who's snubbing me? And in a strange turn of events, Tom is like, well, I mean, I heard about the song that, you know, Rubariat made, and I get it, you're with Marco now. And Star's just like, this is gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. And I'm just like, yes it is. So, Rubariat's song is known far and wide to all the kingdoms. Whew, man. Face the music. Will go down as one of the best episodes ever. And Tom basically says, you know what? I guess that was it. Like, you know, I accept that, you know, you're with Marco now. And he was gonna try to leave her alone because he still cares for her, obviously. But, you know, he doesn't want to keep pursuing her if she's not interested and if he thinks that she's dating Marco. Star says, no, me and Marco are not together and stuff like that, but I still don't want to date you and stuff like all that greatness. And Tom, of course, in Tom fashion, gets angry, saying that, you know what, listen, this hasn't been easy for me, okay? Like, he doesn't know how to be nice. And it's interesting because, based off the intro, it looks like Tom's going to have a more prominent role, and this episode shows it. Both of them start to argue, and they're interrupted by each of their fathers getting into an argument because apparently they're mad that each one of their kin is snubbing each other, which I found hilarious. Most fathers don't want their daughter to date, and here's King Moon just like, why isn't your son dancing with my daughter? She's a delicate flower. So I found their little bit going on. I found their little bit to be funny. And so eventually Star and Tom do dance in that clip that we saw leading up to the release of season 3. So we now know that it wasn't a flashback, that it is current time. And they dance in just a spectacular fashion. Everyone saw that clip, so it was really good to see it again on live television. The dance ends and Tom tells them that, we should probably stop. And Star looks actually more infatuated with him than, was given credit for. So that's interesting. One of the bits that I want to make that I kind of skipped over was that when Star was explaining the whole Marco situation, she said that she needed a friend more than anything. I found that interesting because that's the same thing that she said to Marco in the Blood Moon Ball. She said that she doesn't need she doesn't need a hero, she needs a friend. And now she's saying that to Tom, which I find interesting. I don't know, I mean, it's very possible that she might start, crushing on Tom again. But I would like to see, Tom and Star more on friendly terms, like, regardless. Because they did have a lot in common. Obviously, they dated for an entire year, so they must have something that they like to do. So I just found that interesting. Now she's telling Tom that she needs a friend when she told Marco that. So I'm curious as to see how that's going to end. And so the episode ends with Tom basically asking, would you like to grab a bite to eat sometime? And Star says yes. So it's really interesting to see how that's going to play out. So we got on to the next episode, Stranger Danger, and it starts off with Star feeding Glossaric pudding. Apparently, Glossaric is definitely not Glossaric. All he can say is Globgore now. That's a thing. He looks like he's pretty much just a child now. Like maybe when he was reborn, there's just some kind of process that he needs to restart again, or I don't know what's going on with that, but that's kind of interesting. And then through a whole bunch of shenanigans, he escapes because he's basically now a pet. I find funny because in the last episode, Star tried to bury his belongings in a pet cemetery, which I found disrespectful, but I guess now he essentially is a pet. And so through all these shenanigans, Glosser goes away, she has to chase him, and Glosser gets stopped by none other than Queen Eclipsa. She just shows up out of nowhere, and they start talking, and I'm just like, Star, do you not realize that's Queen Eclipsa? Then I was like, wait, hold on. The only time she ever saw her was in pictures of the tapestry, so she wouldn't know. So she's here talking to Eclipsa, and then the entire High Commission comes in with Moon, and they stop her. They make Moon ask Star if she's okay, and she's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? Like, that's Queen Eclipsa. So I guess the contract was fulfilled. So I guess that does confirm that Toffee is in fact dead. Because I know a lot of people wondering, is Toffee gonna come back? I think Toffee's dead because I don't think he would have showed up if Eclipsa. I don't think Eclipsa would have showed up if he wasn't dead. So that's it. I think no more Toffee for that. So that's kind of disappointing. But we'll see what happens more. So the commission runs all these kind of hilarious tests to make sure if she hasn't been affected by Eclipsa in any way. And Eclipsa's a hard character to get a read on. Like, obviously she's the black sheep of the family. But there's something in me kind of hoping that she's not evil. Although I wouldn't be surprised if she is. She looks like a master manipulator. And it looks like she's starting to work her magic on Star. So we'll see where that goes. So they run a whole bunch of hilarious tests on her. And it leads to Moon and Star having a conversation. Star wants to know why in the world they locked Eclipsa up. They crystallized Eclipsa up in the first place. And basically, so far what we're given is that she ran away to be with the monster, which we already knew from her tapestry. And the other thing that we already knew was that she is responsible for the dark chapter section. Like, Eclipse's whole section is locked off because it's just nothing but dark magic. She created a new chapter, which, you gotta give credit for her being innovative. She was a pioneer in it, so I can release respect her for that. But other than that, that seems to be all we get about Eclipse. That stuff that we already knew, that she had her own restricted section and that she ran away with the monster. When Star asks anything else, Moon says, no, we stopped her before she can really do any more damage, but we don't really get to really hear her side of the story. Star kind of is disappointed in her mom for like locking Eclipsa up for pretty much just being in love, but Moon said that she doesn't understand that, Eclipsa will get in her head and such, and I definitely think Moon has a point. It's a little bit confusing, and I kind of like this, because like at one point you can say, at the other half you can say, okay, I don't think Moon is someone to lie to her daughter. She wants to keep Star safe. We've seen that before. She can be a little bit overprotective, but when dealing with Eclipsa, I think Moon knows Eclipsa well enough. At the same time, we know that Star and Eclipsa are very similar. They're both, kind of do-it-yourself princess. They don't really follow the norm of it. So I want to see their relationship, like their more exchanges go in. They're about to go. The Magic High Commensal decides to crystallize Eclipsa again. Star grabs Glossop and her wand and, stop him before it's done. And says that, okay, I get it, Eclipsa may be evil, but she does have a right to a fair trial. Which, I mean, she's not wrong, I suppose? I don't know, I just like this fact that Star seems more responsible in these couple episodes. I like this change that she's really genuinely trying to be a little bit more of less action and more words. Which, sometimes actions are needed more than words, but considering Star's personality, I really feel like that whole battle with Toffee changed her for the better. So I'm looking forward to her character development. Moon says, fine, we'll give her a fair process just to make sure that you understand that she is evil. Next and final scene, they're keeping Eclipsa locked up in a rose tower that she used to live in before, things went down. Star goes and visits her, and she has her guard up. She says she wants to know, are you responsible for dark magic? Are you as bad as they say you are? And Eclipsa kind of says, well, if that's what everybody says about me, then I guess I'm a villain. So it's just really weird because I can't get a grasp on Eclipsa. I know a lot of people want her to be like a good guy, but like, I'm sorry, she looks like a master manipulator. I've seen enough Palpatine from Star Wars to know, yeah, she's a tricky one. And basically the episode ends with them just watching a favorite spot that Eclipsa liked to watch when she was a kid. Her favorite spot in the garden. So those were the episodes today, and like I said, they were really good. I hope to see more of Tom and Star building, a friendship. If they do go to more of a relationship, that's cool too, I don't mind. But I really just found it interesting how Star told him the same line she told Marco, that right now she really needs a friend. I just saw that and I was like, I really want to see where this goes. And of course, the second episode, both were really good. I'm giving both 5 stars. Stranger Danger, but just Eclipsa showing up out of nowhere. Sad thing is, how long has she been free? And how long did it take the Magic High Commission and Moon for her to notice that she was gone? Like, seriously, she could have been gone out for a while. So, I'm interested in seeing where both goes. Both Star's relationship with Tom and Star's relationship with Eclipsa. So, yeah, that was the Star vlog for tonight. Tomorrow I am not working as late, so I'll be able to do the vlog immediately afterwards. So I believe tomorrow's episodes are Demonsism and Sophomore Slump. And based off the description of the episode, it looks like it's going to be more of a Marco-focused episode, which is what I'm loving about this season, because now you've got the Star episodes and now you've got the Marco episodes. Both of them are going to be doing their own kind of character growth separate from each other, so it's going to be interesting to see the people they become when they eventually meet up together again. So I'm looking forward to it, and you guys should too. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.